G'day people, here I am doing an unusual angle. Normally on the other side, but this time we're on this side because we want to see the microwave. Now, what is the best thing you can cook in a microwave? Answer, potatoes. Just about the best thing you can do in a microwave. Cook potatoes. When you cook potatoes in the microwave, they're almost as good as roasted in the oven. They really are. So I'm going to prove it to you tonight by doing a whole meal of spuds cooked in the microwave. So I'll just zero the scales. Now I've got a whole heap of spuds here. Hang on. I'll just show you how many spuds. Like this is just some. This is just some of the spuds that I dug up last week. Too many spuds, basically, too many. Now I want about, so I'm just going to grab about 350 grams I'm looking for. And I want them all to be roughly the same size, like it's not critical. But roughly one more. And one more. And one more for luck. Right, got 410 grams there, but I'm going to wash them and I'm going to probably cut off some bits and pieces here and there. So by the time I've done all that, I'll probably be down to about 360 grams, something like that. So, as you could see from the previous clip, but I'll just show you again here, they're dirty, right? This is the way they came out of the garden. I just dug them up a few days ago. So what I'm going to do is wash them. So he's telling them. Give them a rinse. Just roll them around. You roll them around and let the water run on them, and that gets rid of, straight away gets rid of most of the dirt. Most. So to get rid of the rest of the dirt, what you want is a sponge. And you just sponge them like this. And I tell you, it's fantastic. It really works. It gets rid of all the dirt. And it doesn't take you very long. Like, it's not instant. It's not instant. You're going to have to do some work. But, you know, it's not a lot of work. And the bigger the spuds you grow, the better, as far as less work to wash, you know. This recipe is really good for getting rid of your smaller spuds. Like you saw that the bucket's full of mostly, a lot of the spuds there are small. And you wouldn't probably buy spuds that small in the supermarket. But if you grow them, if you grow your own spuds, you will have a lot of small spuds. And you know, that's normal. It's perfectly fine. But what do you do with them? Well, this is what you do with them. They're really good in this recipe. They're great. So here we go. That's a, that one's rather green. Probably poisonous. I mean, poisonous to some extent, but it's not like they're deadly poison. They're just probably not very good for you, especially I gather if you're a pregnant woman. They can be damaging to the fetus. But last time I checked, I wasn't a pregnant woman, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Well, I mean, I mean, I'm not desperate for spuds, I've got more than I can use, so I'll just cut the green bit off. But I will use the other bit, you know. There's no need to waste it. So when you're digging your spuds up, and all of you who don't grow spuds won't know what I'm talking about, but anyone that's ever grown spuds will know what I'm talking about. When you dig them up, apart from sticking your fork into the spuds when you dig them up by accident, apart from that, unless you've got really sandy soil, the spuds will be covered in mud. Now, to some extent, it'd be mud or just dirt. Might be wet, might be dry-ish or not, you know, depending on your soil. But when the soil's a little bit damp, a bit wet, and it's a little bit clayey, like good quality soil's got a bit of clay in it, so my soil tends to stick to the spuds a fair bit. And because they're covered in dirt, you can't always see, you know, whether they're green or not. Like sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't. There we go. So I just chopped the green bit off. But now there's a massive hole in it. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to throw it out. I mean, I could eat it, but maybe not. So just go through them, have a close look. And I'll get a bowl. Ooh, will I use it? Maybe I'll use that bowl. That'll be all right. So just have a close look. Make sure you got rid of all the anything that looks dirty or might be dirty. I mean, you don't want to be eating dirt. Not that it's poisonous, but you know, you don't want to taste grit. You don't want grit in your mouth. But honestly, once you've done the sponge trick, I'm just being a bit overcautious here. In fact, it's probably totally fine. They're all, you know, the sponge really does clean the dirt off. It really does. But you know, just if you want to be fussy, and you can be fussy if you want, just have a good close look. See if you can see anything that looks at all dodgy. So there's a bit there, there's a crease in this potato, and the dirt's kind of stuck in the crease a bit. There's a little bit of a semi-hole on the back. Just cut them off. Cut off those things and you're good to go. Good to go. We're nearly done already, lots. It's nothing to it really. It's not a big job. Not a big job, not a difficult job, easy. I'll just throw those out. Now, the thing about microwaves that not everyone knows, but some people know, is that microwaves penetrate. Microwaves excite water. What they do is excite water molecules. They induce this transverse vibration in the water molecule, you know, which is, it's an asymmetric molecule, the water molecule. They induce the vibration, and microwaves are especially tuned to that vibration. So, you really only want to microwave things that have got water in them, because that's what it does. It heats up the water. And of course potatoes got lots of water in them. But here's the thing, when you do this with spuds, it works really well with the smaller ones. With the bigger ones, oh, I've got to say, so microwaves excite the water molecules into this vibration, this mode of vibration. But only down to a depth of 1 only really 1, maybe 2 centimetres deep. Below that they won't penetrate. So you don't want big spuds. Big spuds struggle to cook in the middle in the microwave. They will eventually, but it takes them longer. But the smaller ones, the microwaves will go right through them and they'll cook them evenly. And the reason this is just canola oil, it can be use any oil. I'm not using this oil for taste. I'm using this oil to seal the outside. For some reason, if you try this with dry potatoes and there's a slight wound in the potato anywhere, that bit will go hard in the microwave unless you rub the oil on. If you coat them in oil, it won't happen. So, start out by putting them 5 minutes in the microwave. This is the first stage, alright? And then I'll come back and show you the second stage. Alright, 5 minutes is up. Let's pull them out. Here they are. And they're not quite done yet. You can tell they're not done. They're only half done, but they're quite hot. The bowl's quite hot. And what we do is by turning them over, we just recoat them in the oil. And the oil, of course, is very hot now, so oil and also water. Just recoat them. And then another 5 minutes. After that 5 minutes is up, they'll be fully cooked. Now I did have a couple of blowouts in the first 5 minutes. Pretty common, you know, you get a bit of, for some reason, a water pocket somewhere in the potato gets turned to steam and blows out the potato. A bit like popcorn, really. So I had a few of those, a couple of those. That's perfectly normal. Don't worry about it. It's not a problem, not an issue. And yeah, they're cooking fine, so I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay, time's up. Let's do this. Spuds are done. Or at least I hope the spuds are done. They look like they're just about done. Just about done. Oh, they're done. No, they're done. What am I talking about? They're totally done. So, don't necessarily want all of that oil. I might just pour a little bit of it away. Because I want to put some butter in, butter fat. So a good knob of butter. We're not mashing these spuds. We're not going to do that. So we're just going to melt the butter, put on some pepper. We're just going to melt the butter over the spuds, which are hot, right? They're hot, the bowl's hot, everything's hot, it's all good. It's going to make good stuff. So we just cut them, I'll just cut them through the middle. Now, I suppose I should show you what I'm doing close up. Suppose I should. Alright. There's the what the spuds look like when they've just come out. Whoops. Alright, press the right button that time, Mr. Mars. This is what the spuds look like when they just come out of the microwave. Now notice the skin is wrinkled. The skin's a bit wrinkled. If you see the wrinkled skin, you know they're cooked. But if you stick a knife in them and it goes in nice and easy, you'll also know they're cooked. So I'm just cutting them all in half to expose the middle, right? So the middle can absorb whatever goodness I'm going to put into this bowl, which at the moment I've put in butter, right? But I'm going to put in other things. Now we don't want to mash them though. We just want to cut them in half, and we just turn them over. We've seasoned them with salt and pepper. The other thing I want to season them with is Tabasco. Really good with this. A few good shakes of Tabasco. I mean, you can argue if you put Tabasco, you don't need pepper, but you know, pepper and Tabasco are two different things, really, very different things. So, you know, if you like pepper, you can still add pepper. And then cheese. You're going to do, you know, potatoes and cheese are just so good together. Like potatoes and butter are fantastic. Potatoes and cheese are also fantastic. So we don't want to go too stupid with the cheese, but we do want some cheese in. I want some. Stir it around. Stir it around. Get it into everything. And then sour cream. I don't know what else sour cream's good for, but it's very good for this. In fact, this is the only thing that I know that sour cream's really good in. It's really good on roast potatoes and these potatoes. Right. Ready to eat. Just film it again. This is what it looks like when it's ready to eat. Hang on. Press the right button, mouse. This is what it looks like when it's ready to eat. Microwaved potatoes. Are they any good? Don't take very long to make. Like, how long was that? 10 minutes. Well, I suppose that in my case it was 5 minutes to clean the potatoes. But if you're not cleaning potatoes, you don't have to worry about that. And then 10 minutes to cook them in the microwave, like 2 sets of 5. And then just put on them butter and cheese and season it and eat it. Got to be the simplest way. Simplest, maybe not the simplest, like maybe mashed potatoes are simpler, but, or maybe they're not, you know? This has got to be close to the simplest way, and they're really good. I think done like this is better than mashed. Even though I like a good mash, I love a good mash, but microwave just does pretend roast potatoes just so well. They really do taste like roast potatoes, even though they're microwave, they're not roasted. They bloody taste very much the same. They don't have the really, you know, the dry tough skin on you get on a roast potato, which is really nice. They don't have that. But the flesh tastes like roast potato. It really does. And you know, it took me a quarter of an hour. So this is actually the quickest way to eat potatoes. Look, it took me a quarter of an hour from the time I started to the time that I was mixing in the butter and the cheese, right? And that takes bugger all. So in less than 20 minutes you're eating it. And you know, if you're boiling spuds, it probably takes you 20 minutes before you start mashing them. So you're like 25 minutes before you're eating it. So this is quicker than mash. And I think it's got more flavour. Oh. Also because I home grew these. You know, they really do taste, potatoes that are homegrown just have more flavour. Wow. I don't know what happens to potatoes that are grown on farms. Why do they have less flavour? I don't understand. Something's going on there, but I don't know. But anyway, take my word for it. Homegrown potatoes are better. And they're easy to do. And this way, when you cook them this way in the microwave, they still have that flavour of potatoes about them. Sour cream, just fantastic on top of potatoes. Just fantastic. I mean, you can add to this, you want to do imitation roast potatoes, you could put bacon on it, but there's no need. I mean, at some point you're tasting, some point you're eating more toppings than you are potato, right? So you don't want to get to that point. So that's just good like this. Not too many toppings. And you know, this is a meal. It's a meal, and what does it cost? Well, for me it cost me bugger all because I grew the spuds. And I still got to pay for the butter, but it's not that much. Just great. Simplest and quickest way to make potatoes. Really good.